Hello, my little piggies. Welcome back to I Am a Bit of an Expert, a Peppa Pig podcast. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, speaking, and on the other end of the line, we've got Matt Frost. Hey, Matt.
Good evening, Josh. How are you?
Sorry, my other host, not just another guy on the line. You are also the host. I just realised I didn't say that you are the host as well, so you are also the host. So let's make sure we don't forget that.
Yeah, I didn't even notice.
As we established in the last episode, that you're the Pepper and I'm the George in this relationship, so I've got to be careful.
Yeah, I'm far from the alpha pig, I'd say.
Now, we didn't touch on this at the last episode, but I think I did allude to it. There was actually quite a big Pepper story in the news this week involving a MMA fight.
Ah, of course, yeah. It was great publicity for us.
It was. We got into a few Twitter streams, actually. I think that probably bumped us up the loads. But what was the general gist of it?
But as far as I can understand, there was is it ultimate fighting, UFC or MMA? Yeah.
The ultimate fighting, yep.
And that's proper fighting, is it? They're really fighting. That's not like the fake fighting one.
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty real. I think it looks pretty real. Yeah, I think they really clock each other.
Yeah, so
let's not upset our MMA listeners.
Oh, yeah, it's just not something I'm super familiar with, but I understand that there was a fight on, and for some people it was quite early on in the morning, and so a lot of people it must have gone long, did it? Or
yeah, I think it was in America, and it was broadcast in Britain in the morning. So I think it was about 5 a.m. or something that before they got to the fight. But the problem was that there's something else that was scheduled to play at that time, which was
Peppa Pig. Peppa had got up to watch two blokes smack hell out of each other.
Well, that's the thing. It was all about the people who'd stayed up all night to watch the MMA and then have Peppa Pig kick in. But there was nothing about the kids who'd gotten up early to watch Peppa Pig. And, luckily for them, they didn't see a bunch of blokes, bashing each other's faces in. I
think now I know. Yeah, I've got it in my head straight what UFC is. They really, they just fight like however they want to fight, don't they? Or something.
Yeah, I think so. God. But I think pretty much anything goes, and I think they really do hit each other. I think there's kicking and punching and all that kind of stuff. Pretty much about as far away as from Peppa Pig as you can get.
Yeah, so we are not the experts on kickboxing, fighting, boxing, obviously. So, yeah.
No, there's plenty of other podcasts for that.
I'm sure there is.
So, we hit a little bit of a lull last time with hide and seek. It wasn't the greatest episode that we'd seen in Peppa, but we pick things up. We pick things up in a big bad way in the next episode, don't we?
That's right. It was last week was a tough week, but we dust ourselves off, and this was really good fun.
And what basically happens in this episode, Matt?
Well, this is George's first day at Playgroup, or what do they call it in the daycare? Or
is it daycare? Because if it's daycare, yeah, I don't know. Because if it's daycare, there should be more people working there rather than one person looking after all those kids for a start. But if it's kindergarten, you wouldn't be having 2-year-olds in there. So it's a bit of a fuzzy. It's somewhere where they're sending their kids off during the day, basically.
Yeah, playgroup, I guess. I love how you straight away go to carer-child ratios.
That's right. It's very important.
Yeah, I guess it's just a placeholder for all sorts of things, isn't it? Obviously, they want the kids little, but they want the kids to be able to with other kids. And the best thing of all is we get to meet a whole bunch of new characters.
Yeah, we do. So Peppa isn't that thrilled about having to take George along to Playgroup, but Daddy Pig and Mummy Pig want to get the kids out of the house.
Yeah. Something that I'm not sure you're aware of too. I don't know what version you watch, but Did you notice anything about when they were driving to Playgroup?
About the car?
Yeah.
Is he doing left-hand drive, is he? Or right-hand drive? Is it one of those things?
Close. They're not wearing seatbelts.
Ah.
And that was a criticism that came up in first from Peppa Pig, and now when you see these episodes on TV, a la Star Wars Special Edition, they've had
they've had to CG the Jabba the Hutt in.
Yeah, they've CG'd the seatbelts into the car, but the one I watched today, no seatbelts. That's
wow. There you go.
It's like original, untouched.
It's like, yeah, you get the original print, the despecialized edition.
Spot on. Yeah, I would like to think that somebody's has gone to great lengths to remove the seatbelts again, like to just bring it back to its pristine.
There's a whole group of those. They're the ones that they trade on the dark web. Those episodes, they're the real genuine things.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, I don't want to know much about the dark web, to be honest.
So we get into the playgroup straight away. Boom! We get hit with heavy hitters, and let's start with the heaviest of hitters, Madame Gazelle. Oh,
I love Madame Gazelle. Do you know Madame Gazelle's obviously the teacher or the carer? What is her accent supposed to be?
Now, I have theories about this, and this actually leads into another episode that we're going to be looking at soon, because I've gone and checked ahead, which does talk about what country she's from. But I was under the impression that she was Swiss. So I thought that she had sort of a French-German kind of thing going on. But I could have swore there was an episode somewhere where they spoke about how she had some kind of Swiss background. But I could be completely wrong. I know that she used to be in a band, and I know that she was a champion skier as well. But
that is true, yeah.
But I'm not too sure about country of origin. But yeah, they do. Her Madame Gazelle. I know that when there's an episode where her band members come and they call her Gigi, which is I don't know, something Gazelle, I'm assuming, which is funny because that's what my daughter calls her grandmother. My partner's mother's Gigi as well. So I always thought that was quite amusing that they called Madame Gazelle Gigi as well.
I would like to think that it's Giselle Gazelle. That sounds very sort of iconic.
Yeah, that's not bad, is it? That's not bad. But she just owns it. She's like the penultimate Gazelle. Yeah,
the artist formerly known as Gazelle Gazelle.
And she's a madam, so do we assume she's unmarried? Is a madam? How does the title of madam work? It's not like a Ms. or a Ms. or a Miss or a Mrs.
Madam. Yeah.
It's not her bondage name.
No, and I like to think that she doesn't run an establishment
under the playgroup.
Yeah.
You go down a flight of stairs out the back. Come to Madame Gazelle's.
Yeah, I think let's put that away. I don't want to think that way about Madame Gazelle at all. I don't know.
I don't know. Like we said, we have to sometimes go through. Sometimes little hints are dropped.
Yeah, well, I think we've just got to keep our ears open, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so along with Madame Gazelle, we get Susie Sheep, who we established a few episodes back as the best friend. And I've got a little still here, so I've just got the gang all in a row here. We'll go from the left. We've got Rebecca Rabbit, big hitter.
Absolutely.
Pedro Pony, who is a favourite of mine.
Yes, mine too.
Danny Dog.
Brilliant.
Now we'll get to that, and I'll just say that we've got Candy Cat, who rounds out as well as the new kids. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the Danny Dog. Now, is this the first attempt at a catchphrase?
I don't know. It was kind of creepy.
It was sort of weirdly sort of plopped in a few times. He sounded like Ron Weasley or something, like he was dropping all those brilliance.
Right, that's Harry Potter, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Sorry,
Ron.
I've just dropped a Harry Potter on a non-Potter person there. Sorry, apologies. There'll be plenty of Potter people. I'm sure who are listening. He'll get that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get hung and drawn and quartered because I don't know.
That's all right. There's time.
I have read one or two of the books, I think, but way back when they were first released. So, yeah.
Yeah, so Danny Dog's just dropping these sort of little catchphrases like he's a little proper East Ender. We always kind of said that Mr. Fox was the East Ender, but it is a little sort of lad about town, isn't it?
Yeah, he says it so slow. It's like brilliant.
It's a little bit creepy, isn't it? But anyway, so there's actually a moment in this episode. Now there's a very famous Peppa meme that we'll get to, which is the Peppa hanging up the phone, the whistling one, where it's like, she doesn't know how to whistle, and then there's the face that she pulls when I think it's Susie Sheep on the other line knows how to whistle. She pulls this sort of like face. But in this episode, there's a very similar moment where they're drawing the pictures, and George draws the dinosaur, and Madame Gazelle comes over and says, "Oh, what a brilliant dinosaur!" And there's a split second where Peppa pulls that same face.
Yep. Yeah, I picked up on that. And again, like, people sort of adults put adult behaviour onto Peppa, and like, kids do that. Kids do get jealous, like, of other kids, and I love it. I mean, having two lilies myself, it happens all the time. But yeah, it's would you call that foreshadowing to one of Peppa's finest moments?
I mean, potentially. I mean, I'd be curious to see that, since we've gone back to sort of the start to see whether it happens a bunch of times, and that just happens to be in the time that, the meme took over and, hit the internet. But, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. So basically George is in the playgroup. The kids seem to like him. Peppa has these sort of weird moments where she looks like that she's really upset, but then she sort of happens to snap out of it very quickly. That they're all praising George, and she's got this look on her face like, what? But then she sort of, snaps out of it quite quickly and goes along with it.
I think that's like having, like, my little piggies are the same age, basically. So I'm slightly bit older than Pepper, I'd imagine. She's at school, but that. And we said all the time with our kids, like, they fight, but then, when anyone else is around, they're very, Sarai's very protective of Sabine, and is really happy when she does well, but then gets annoyed when she gets too much attention, and it's very natural kid behaviour. But it's quite funny to watch.
So obviously with this, being the sort of sixth episode, I think at the moment, the playgroup's quite small. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kids in there, and I think as you get later in, they bring in more and more characters. The playgroup gets a lot more populated, doesn't it?
Well, that's right. We don't. We haven't got Zoe Zebra or Freddie Fox.
Emily Elephant.
Yep. No, they're there yet. So. There's more than that too.
Now, just before we wrap up here, it's actually also the first time that we see Candy Cat's mother, Susie Sheep's mother, and Danny Dog's father. And Danny Dog's father's a bit of a funny bloke, because isn't he he's the merchant seaman, isn't he?
He is too, yeah. Because, normally, unless that's his grandfather come to pick him up, because Danny's grandfather runs a garage, I think.
Oh, it could be. I'm just trying to. Yeah, I've got the episode up here, and I'm kind of just checking and have a look. He's got a sort of a lightish beard. It could be. I'd have to get them side by side to have a look. But I mean, the running gag with Danny Dog's dad, at least later on, is that he kind of doesn't really want to be with the family. He wants to be out at sea. He sort of goes away and comes back sporadically. He's sort of married to the sea.
He's got a pretty good song too, doesn't he? I think.
Yeah, I think he might actually.
I might have to work a musical number for that one.
Ooh, there's some sizzle for you, everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, my magnificent musical talents.
Oh, people can hear it at the start, at the end of the episode. People are loving it. So, any closing thoughts on this one, Matt? This is definitely a step up from last week. We get some great new characters, some legacy characters.
It was one hell of a palate cleanser.
Yes.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It was very good. So you're right, like so many new characters and just that hint of Peppa's little personality coming out even more. It was really good.
And I'm just going to touch on very quickly before we go that there is Rebecca Rabbit's mother is in the final shot, but that is not Miss Rabbit.
No, that's
that is the other Miss Rabbit, or that's Mrs. Rabbit.
That's Mrs. Rabbit. Yeah, I always find it's a really good, easy way to sort out the noobs, the Peppa Pig sort of casuals, as I like to call them. So you're getting Mrs. and Miss Rabbit mixed up. So they are twin sisters. But,
we will definitely deep dive on that when we get to Miss Rabbit, because we love Miss Rabbit. But so that is not Miss Rabbit, that is Mrs. Rabbit. So so next time we have Mummy Pig at work. So thanks for listening again, everybody. You can find us at all the socials at at Peppa Pig Pod. Leave us a review on iTunes if you can. Bump us up the rankings. We're getting some really great feedback, and we're getting some good numbers as well, which is very encouraging. So we'll see you next time. Thanks again, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Josh, and thank you to all the people that have that listen and that have given us feedback and chat with us on social media. It's been really, really good. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye, piggies.
Yeah, we're playing a tune and we're singing a song with a bang and a bong and a bang. Bong, bang, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo. Bong, bing, boo, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong, bangly, bongly, boo.